So I came out to my mom and dad through letters. I wrote them letters.
Handwritten?
They were typed. They were typed letters.
Okay.
And I was like 13, I think. And
Okay.
in the letter it said, I'm attracted to guys, but not in that way.
Okay.
Because at the time, like, I didn't comprehend what it meant exactly, and I didn't want to understand what it meant.
Yeah.
And I also said in the letter, never talk to me about this.
Really?
Yeah. Because I was so ashamed, because I was raised with the belief that I shouldn't be gay, I shouldn't be queer, and that I'll never find happiness if I'm queer. I can fix this. And so I think that's where the don't ever talk to me about this came in. It was like, I knew that it was a strong enough feeling that I had to write it down and let them know.
Okay.
But I was still so scared of it that I didn't want it to be true.
Were you scared at school all day? I was like, oh my God, did they read it yet?
Strange enough, I kind of forgot about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I kind of forgot that I had done that, which is weird to think about looking back because it was such a big deal. But then as soon as my mom picked me up, I'm like, oh no. So she tried talking to me about it, and I just, it shut down, didn't say anything. And then fast forward like 2-3 years, then we started like little bits and pieces of what I was feeling. I would communicate with my mom and my dad, and just that shame of being something that wasn't expected of me, and realizing that different parts of the Mormon faith were simply just not going to work out how I was told they would, because I'm attracted to guys. Eventually, I got to the point where like, okay, this is a real thing and I want to fix it. I don't want to be gay anymore.
What? Fix it?
Because everything that I was taught, my parents was taught, like directly or indirectly, I could change. I could change if I was faithful enough, if I went to church, if I read my scriptures. So
I've heard stuff like that through the like you can be delivered from it.
Yeah.
You can be all of these things. Okay.
Yeah, and it definitely wasn't that explicit of like, okay, you can be cured of this. It was more of like the reading in between the lines, because being gay was so like looked down on. So I eventually went to my bishop, which was the church leader in our ward, which is the neighborhood essentially.
Okay.
Went to him and I said, I'm attracted to guys, help, essentially.
Okay.
I want to be forgiven and I want to be fixed. And he said, I've never dealt with this before, so we're going to go through the repentance process as if you're addicted to pornography. Yeah, very exciting. But at the time, I was like, yeah, I'm all in. Do it.
Because it was a cure.
Yeah.
It was a rope. It was a life raft, right?
The bishop was a direct line from God. So of course he knew.
That's right.
He knew how to fix me.
Hi, can I get a large caramel iced coffee?
Can I get a large sugar-free vanilla iced coffee? Are you buying me coffee?
Yeah, I'm buying you
I was
coffee.
gonna buy you coffee.
No, this is the ex-Mormon way. You buy someone else coffee. They're also nice, all the people that work here.
The whole
I see
town
them
has
every
been
day.
Nice. I've been here for 3 days, honestly. Friendliest town.
I'm so glad.
I know you worked in the church. I was wondering if you could kind of tell me more about that.
Yes. So when a bishop is picked, they don't really get any training on that position. So when Angel says the bishops were just doing the best they could, they didn't have a lot of training, and all they have really is just that lens from the church's perspective, if that makes sense. Like, for example, if you're gay and you go to your bishop to talk about that, there is a chance that you could like not be able to go to the temple. Like, he could take your temple recommend away, or he could even take your church membership away. And there's just a lot of shame attached to that, and a lot of fear, right? Because if you get kicked out of the church, what they're basically saying is you're not worthy of heaven, and if you die, you will not go to heaven with your family, type of thing. It's just so scary because you don't know how the bishop's going to react. The bishop has his own perspective and lens that he's bringing to that, and there's no official rule of like, yes, this person is going to get kicked out or not. It's all up to the bishop.
Like, you have to wake up that day and go, this is the day and you have to know that this also might be the day
That your
your
world
whole world is going to be over.
Mhm.
Everything's going to be over. You're
Yeah.
going to be cut off from everything. You're going to all of the no more garments, no more temple. Have to go maybe go to the board. No, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
It got to the point where like I couldn't just like push it to the back of my head anymore. Like this wasn't a part of me that I could just ignore and it's not there. Because it was for a long time because I really wanted it to be. There was one person that was out in my high school as bi,
Okay.
and we were chatting on Facebook. He said something that in that moment I was like, oh, why do I want to be in a place where I'm told that I have to be different to be worthy or accepted? And that's really when things changed in my perspective. Realized I'm only ashamed because I'm told that I should be
They
ashamed.
put it was put on you.
Exactly. And when I realized that, it really was like a left turn. I started telling immediate family members that I was gay, as queer, started telling some of my friends, and it did happen where a lot of my friends just dipped,
Yeah.
didn't really stay my friends. And because of that, I felt really alone for a while.
Do you think it's possible to come out and not have depression? Do you think that that's just like a part of it? Is there a world where people can come out and not have to go through that, you think?
I think there is a world where that's possible. I don't think it's very common right now, especially. Like, I did have a few nights in high school where it was like pretty bad, and I thought about killing myself. I tried to kill myself. I wanted to hurt myself, and like,
You actually tried.
yeah, it was actually right up there.
Here at school?
Yeah.
During
so
school?
It was like at night. It was a really low night. I can't remember exactly like what led up to it, but it was those emotions of feeling like I couldn't find a place, I couldn't find joy, I couldn't find my people.
Yeah.
And I was like standing at the very top of that. Like I remember looking over the edge, and at the time there were staircases below, and just thinking about stepping forward. And it's easier for me to talk about it now because I'm not in that same place. But at the time, it felt like I didn't have another option. And it's weird being here because like one step 7 years ago would have changed everything. I wouldn't be here most likely. My mom wouldn't be where she's at now. Like, and I'm very grateful that I didn't. I actually started taking antidepressants and about that same time. I've been on those since, and they've helped a lot. Made me feel not so helpless and hopeless.
I didn't realize like this story was so accessible. You know, I kind of thought it was rare and hard to find, but what I've learned today is it's out there more than people realize.
My story is not unique. My story is not one of a kind. It may have different point of views, but like people go through this all the time, every day, whether it's in Utah or another part of the US or in another country. Like if I were to go on a first date with someone, maybe one of the first questions I would ask would be, when did you come out? Did your parents accept you? And it's so sad that that is a question that needs to be asked if your parents accept you, if you were loved by them. Because it's not always the case with me and my mom. Like my mom is super loving and accepting, but I know a lot of people who don't have connections with their family at all. A lot of people whose family kicked them out. A lot of people whose family didn't want to talk to them anymore, told them XYZ, like conversion therapy. Like
I can't.
I know it's weird.
It's so hard for me to, when I think about my kids, I just can't, I don't know what they could tell me that would make me not love them anymore.
And it should be like that. And it hurts. I'm not even a parent, and thinking about it just makes me so sad, because like, how can you not love your child?
Yeah.
How can you not love your child and want them to succeed and live? And even if that's different than how you were expecting them to be, like,
Yeah.
just to be alive.
Yes.
Just to be alive. And it seems so simple. It should be simple.
What's the ideal situation? Like, what are we aiming for? you think? Are we aiming for anything?
I think this is very cliche and very broad, but I think just general happiness and being content with where I'm at. And I think I'm definitely getting there, but I don't know. I want to strive to create a safe space for myself and others around me. And my mom really has taught me how to go that direction. My mom is such a loving person, and she has taught me a lot about showing other people that you care about them. And so I think the ideal would just to be find happiness, and happiness doesn't have a destination. It's kind of the journey.
Yeah.
So just to be content with where I'm at, and if I'm not content with where I'm at, realize that I can change that and I can go a different direction. And it took a second, and I'm still figuring it out, but I did, and I'm here.
I'm so proud of you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm proud of myself too. It's not easy being raised in such a religious community and not having any sort of queer guidance.
Yeah.
Like when I came out in my high school, I was one of the very few people that was people knew who I was and they knew I was gay. So for like 2 years in high school, I had people it felt like every week coming out to me. Like just people from my high school seeing that I was alive and I was visible. And so people just slowly started coming out to me more and more. And that really helped me realize okay, I have people. There are people that understand me and want to be around me and accept me.
Yeah.
That made a very big difference. And I think that community for me has been found through the queer community, the gay community, and also the ex-Mormon community and the drag community. The drag community in Salt Lake is so incredible. I love them so much. So I perform in drag pretty often, but I started makeup about 3 years ago. I've been performing in drag for about 2 years, and it's been so much fun just gaining different elaborate pieces, things that are sparkly, dramatic, and I found a lot of community and comfort just being able to sing and express myself through my gender and how I dress. It's been so incredible. And the people in that community, just the love and acceptance that we have for each other, it's so incredible. I'm so grateful for them.
Well, you said you had choreography and we're standing here in front of a stage, so...
No.
No? You won't even show me one thing?
This isn't the choreography, but I'll do this.
That's not the choreography.
It's not.
Okay. All right.
I'm just so grateful for where I'm at. And if you had told Angel in high school when I was on that school roof that I would be where I'm at now, singing in front of hundreds of people in drag with people I love and I care about, and my dad and mom come to shows, I would never have believed that in 1,000 years. And it's so incredible. I am so grateful for it. And hey, I like attention.